From the Northford Ice Pavilion, it's senior night for the number 68th ranked team in ACHA's Division III for men's collegiate ice hockey. The New Haven Chargers look to continue their stride at a 9-7-2 record, 1-1 in their last couple of competitions. After a win 9-6 against the University of Maine last week, they collide with the number 34 ranked team within their respective division, the B team for the Sacred Heart University Pioneers, sitting at 6-11, who are on a 1-1 streak of their own, but had a tough loss last night, 7-11 against Brown University within the last couple of days, and looking to bounce back of their own to stop themselves from going on a 2-game losing streak. Welcome to everyone watching around the world. I'm Spencer Thompson, proud to be with you remotely from the Northeast for this exciting ACHA hockey matchup. Lloyd Jocks leads the New Haven Chargers into the day, a record of 5-1-1 on the road. On the opposition, or I beg your pardon, it's 5-1-1 on the road. That's been the positive record for the Chargers. At home, they have not been over 500, 4-6-1. On the other side, the Pioneers, 5 of their 6 wins have come outside of the Martire Family Arena, just a 1-2 record on their home rink, as Steve Mancini looks to lead their respective squad here and try to get an upset win on senior night. New Haven looking for a good way to send out their seniors. You just saw the honoring ceremony for the respective players who put so much into this program, and this is their final game of the regular season before we get into postseason for the Empire Conference and things start winding down. Or at least for New Haven, it's the last game before they figure out what their fates are, if they're going to head to the postseason or not. And on the other side, for the Sacred Heart Pioneers, members of the Metropolitan Collegiate Hockey Conference, they're at the top of the Metropolitan Division, 9-1. So not having to worry as much about it for their A team. But on the B team, at the Atlantic side, looking at a record of 3-4-1, and looking to just end their potential season on a high note here, as this is one of their, the final game of their regular season here on the road, as they look to, as mentioned, get an upset here on senior night. Both the teams warming up, finishing up their respective strides, and we will get things started here in just a few moments here on the LI Sports Network. A lot of great action across the LISN YouTube channel. Be sure to join us for a lot of great ice hockey playoff games in the high school side in the Northeast. Got several other games coming up as the hockey season begins to wind down across the Northeast and across the country around ACHA and all the respective collegiate hockey side of things. We'll get started in just a few moments here, as it is the Chargers of the University of New Haven against the Pioneers of Sacred Heart University, next on the LI Sports Network. You can hear the crowd starting to get into it here on senior night for the University of New Haven. They sit at 8th in the purple division for the Empire on their overall record of 9-9-2. And likely a postseason future not in the cards for them. But at least for New Haven, trying to finish things out right for senior night here as they wrap things up here on the 25-26 campaign. Yeah, time to get the opening face-off. We're underway for this ACHA Men's Division III matchup, and it starts off with a glove down on the left side of the ice. That's Sacred Heart in the white jerseys, the home team wearing their signature color. Matches on the university side of either blue or purple, and with the attack underway here. Face going on. This will go back along the backside of the boards here. Sacred Heart trying to clear this thing down. In the area there was Kamasi. As New Haven will try to face things off here. Going to go in here is Minipoli, who slings it around, and now this will be taken back down through the neutral zone by Ben Helper. This ACHA D3B team for Sacred Heart ranked number 34th in men's Division III side, at least collectively, because you have some of these players here on the B team that have doubled over on the A team for the Pioneers during this 25-26 campaign. This one going back on the outside, gets away. An initial attempt there. Letizia was in front of the net. Come back out into the neutral zone. We'll head around the other way, and the Pioneers will go back on the move. Here's a chance, trying to find a chance in front there. That's not going to go from Brandon Reeder. And now on the other side, the Chargers are on the move. Back in the area there was Rosa trying to get a reset here as this will go back over to the Chargers' end of the ice. Ashazath, one of the best players for the Sacred Heart Pioneers, trying to get in possession of the puck there, and he does initially as being fought for along the boards, and it's swiped up by the sophomore forward. Trying to swipe away for it there are several defenders, including Mansky, as this stays in, and a shot on net. This gets fended off, trying to follow an opportunity in front. Several of the Pioneers trying to crash the net, but nothing doing thanks to the goaltending. Trying to sling this along the boards, they do, looking for an opportunity to Gaffredo, as this will be back into the neutral zone. Shoveled up, sent over by Sprayer, and it looks like that'll get us to a stoppage here with that going out of play. They'll set it back up here in the neutral zone for a face-off. Not winning the face-off there is Brady Price. Brady Price there in front of the net trying to crash as this gets a potential swipe away there as Maknovich tried to get the puck there. Gaffredo. This will go back out to the neutral zone again. Here in possession, Maknovich. Back out to the red line. This gets poked away. Gordon Colton, only, according to ACHA stats, only played in one game on this year's campaign. Back out. This will bounce all the way for an icing. Got about 3 minutes that's been shaved off the clock as, again, senior night festivities here for the New Haven Chargers. And it looks like we just needed to make sure that the goalposts were secure as we get back to action here. Brady Price in the zone for the faceoff, gets poked back by Macri. Now Trent Macri, the senior defenseman, on senior night. That's the puck. Tried to get the pass off and had a good opportunity set up there as this gets shoveled away near the goal, and it gets gloved up by Sacred Heart's goaltender in Tyler Armajan. Played one game on the A team, and was credited with a loss, at least in the ACHA stats. Played for 60 minutes and had a .905 save percentage, even with the 4 GAA. Parmesan trying to get things going as the sophomore on the road. It's a good ladled forward and it's wiped out by the blue line, looking for the shot, too high. What a save. Christopher, I beg your pardon, not Christopher Taddeo. That's 18 on the other side. Evan Kolb for Sacred Heart could not get it done. The graduate student had a great one-on-one opportunity there, and that's great goaltending by the New Haven Charger. So dangerous on those one-on-ones at times when they occur. That's the sophomore goaltender, Javed Ula, native of West Haven, Connecticut. In the 4 games recorded on the ACHA stats side, he's played 240 minutes and has an .812 save percentage. Managed to prevent the one-on-one there. As Ula looks for the next shot attempt here as this goes over to Ouellette. Ouellette loses control of the puck, and it'll head all the way back down to the goaltending side for Pioneers. Parmesan trying to shovel it forward there was Timothy Ouellette, sophomore from Stanford. Back out to center ice. This will get back into Vidola's possession, who will pass it back off to the sophomore star forward from Middle Village, New York. Right now, it's just a sling back and forth here, and New Haven Chargers trying to set something up on the offensive side. Anthony Rosa passes it off, trying to go to Mansky. Mansky loses possession of the puck to the defense of the Pioneers. Wiping it up here is Michael Madera, who will pass it off to several fellow Chargers as this will go all the way down onside. Here's a chance on the right wing. They score! Beautiful pass by Rosa to Madera, and it's 1-0 New Haven. Rosa was able to stay onside. Madera able to catch up on the opposite post. A great pass and 1 goal for New Haven. Comes at the 14:41 mark. And heads back down the other way. Just gets poked away by Parmesan. This will get sent back up on the pass here. Camden Souza trying to get a response. Looking through. What fancy stick work, but couldn't get a shot on net. That was an incredible stride by the forward freshman. And another chance in front. We have whistles. Little bit of a collision there between the Pioneer and Charger goaltender. Already starting to get emotional here on senior night. Face-off coming up here. Doesn't look like any penalty got called on that stride as the Chargers will try to get it back out of their defensive zone, and they do. Scrambling a little bit here is Lucas Minipoli. He gets the shot off, trying to get the rebound there. It was an opportunity for James Brady as he tries to take it around the other side of the net. In front, looking for the pass-off, and it's good defending by the Sacred Heart Pioneers. A great opportunity on the pass as we got a whistle. I believe they're going to blow that dead and say no goal, even though that shot went in. They will rule no goal. And a penalty coming up here for the Pioneers, so New Haven will go on the power play with a chance to go up 2-0. And they're going to call that one on Ben Helper, who will head to the box for 2. A power play coming up here for New Haven. And with Ben Helper going to the box, that'll just tally up to almost 4 minutes in the box on the season. Again, ACHA website stats on there. It says that he's only sat in the box for 2 minutes out of the 2 games that he's played. The power play here for the Chargers, trying to go around on a shorthander. Great save by Ulad. Trying to get a shorthanded goal there was Timothy Ouellette. Ouellette doesn't win the faceoff. It'll go the other way. Power play advantage still in favor of the Chargers, is trying to pass. No one there to pick up the puck as Michael Madera tried to go in stride. And the zone is cleared, but we have whistles. A lot of action here early on. And it's a face-off here on the other side. Normally, it's not icing since it's a power play. It must have been out of play or some sort of safety stoppage on the other end. But regardless, the Knights will take it back down the other way. Knights on a 3-on-2 on a disadvantage. A shot that goes off Ulad. Anthony Rosa trying to pursue the puck on the backside. Nickerdart has defended this power play very well thus far. Is in the area there. Madera trying to clear it out. There, we'll shovel this forward back into the neutral zone, and he'll just sling it all the way down to clear the zone. Michael Madera in pursuit. He's got Brady Tomasi pressuring him as he passes it back off top of the zone, looking to sling it there for a good deflection opportunity. Madera couldn't find it. Here's another chance with a shot on goal as this one gets swallowed up and shut down. That shot there from distance by Dylan Steels, the freshman from Manchester, Connecticut. Played at least 2 games for the A team on the total of 4 he's had here on the 25-26 campaign. And headed back the other way are the Chargers. Trying to find a chance in front. That pass off Macri was the intended target as this play gets shut down. About 39 seconds left to go here on the power play. I'll adjust that in a second. Final seconds winding down in the man advantage for the Chargers. Trying to equalize and make this a 2-goal game as they keep it in the zone of the Pioneers, and it gets cleared away by Dillon. Back in front. Here's Trent Macri trying to shovel it backwards, and it's sticked away by Armajon. Final seconds winding down. We'll be back to even strength now. Successful power play kill by the Pioneers. Got close to 7.5 minutes shaved off here. 7.5 and change, I should say, here in this opening period. This will go back to the goaltending side. Just bounced off along the boards. A dangerous chance kept in front, but it's handed away by Mansky and company. Here's another quick breakaway. Brady James with a shot, and it gets wedged by Armajon. Sophomore native of Middletown. In the one game that has recorded statistics here for the B team, got an 8.00 GAA, .822 save percentage in the one contest he has competed in. credited with the loss on that one, unfortunately, but sophomore trying to get things done here in this matchup. Back out along the boards. The Chargers trying to keep possession of the puck. He gets swiped back up by Lascaux. Back in the neutral zone, trying to radar for it there, and chance at a 3-on-2. Another back pass. That one too high and outside the post. Another great shot opportunity there by Kurowski. Kurowski back in the area. This gets fended back away to Morrell. Takes it back out to center ice. Will pass it on to his teammate who's onside. That gets kicked by the skate of Rosa and ends up in the possession of the Pioneers. We're with full steam ahead as they lose the puck here. Looks like they've kept the puck in the opposite zone the majority of the contest. As this puck stays onside, trying to sweep at it, goes back to the other side. Lafredo, he'll send it back. And this puck gets back into the possession of New Haven. New Haven, Anthony Rosa trying to weave it through. Couldn't get the pass off to his teammate in anticipation as this stays onside. Great maneuvering and a chance in front. Tried to get the pass. Would have been a good one-timer by Madera. Could he have loaded up for it? And now Madera just settles for looking at the puck being pitchforked over. Back up. That'll stay onside, says the official, as it goes back the other way to the Lucky. See this puck continue to sling around, and it'll go into the Chargers zone like it just for a line change here for the Pioneers. North Ice Pavilion hosting senior night. Already a rocket of a shot with a pass from Rosa to Madera gets us to a 1-goal advantage so far for the University of New Haven. Fight for it along the boards. Looks like a wipeout there by Evan Kolb as we get a whistle for a stoppage about halfway through the first. And waiting for their guidance here. They're going to have a face-off on the other side of the blue line, likely called for an offside. This will get bounced along again, and fending it off there. Good maneuvering as this gets sent forward by Goodwin. Goodwin and company trying to go after the puck here as the Knights get it back in their possession. This gets sent back from the neutral zone into Pioneers' side of the ice at first. Now they try to set things up and go for a shot from distance. What we've seen from the Pioneers so far, they're not afraid to shoot it from just inside the blue line. And now the Pioneers get it back. Swiped it away in the neutral zone. We'll send it back down. Chance on the outside here. And we do have a whistle as Dylan Reeder was trying to go forward. A little bit of fighting there on the blue line. And a passionate fan trying to give his 2 cents about it. It looks like we will have a player go to the box for this, at least one at a minimum. That's Trent Macri, a senior from Mawa, New Jersey. They're only going to send one player to the box, but the officials are going to talk it over just to get a determination here. Maybe see if someone started the instigation. Not a place you want to be if you're a senior in the penalty box, especially out of the essentially every game that he's played in 18, he's got at least 1 minute spent in the box. And they will send a Pioneer in the box. Ben Helper will also go in there. And if I'm not mistaken, that's just both of them sitting in the box, and it'll be a even strength with those essentially canceling out. And now you get to hear some fans getting really passionate about this being delayed as long as it is. Although, to be honest, it doesn't feel like that long of a delay. They're just trying to get things situated. And it looks like they are going to give the power play to New Haven. I beg your pardon. They did adjust it here. It will be a even strength. You've got 5 skaters on the ice. So, okay, now we've got it situated. I was trying to make sure I got my count right. It's a power play for the Pioneers, a chance for them to get back into it here as Chargers managed to clear the zone to start out. It's interesting because you have 2 players going to the box there. I guess they went back and forth on their decision, but they gave the man advantage to Pioneers. And now a chance for a short-handed opportunity. Couldn't back it on the shot. James Brady with a good opportunity on the short-hander, and we got another whistle. You're going to get another stoppage here, and it looks like they've got Evan Vidola going to the box now. So that's going to be a 4-on-4 for about a minute and change. Looks like they called him for hooking. You see 2 players for both teams inside the respective boxes. And now that should get us to a 4-on-4. Man short on each side in this ACHA Division III men's matchup. Fighting for it in the neutral zone. The Pioneers do get it back. They try to pass it off here as Boschzoth looks in anticipation. They'll send it back around. Look at a hook around there was name just mentioned, Benjamin Boschzoth. I beg your pardon. One of those sophomore names that is known around the team in Boschzoth. One of the great names known around the team. Just sometimes you get tripped up on the pronunciation. As this goes out to the neutral zone. Boschzoth looking for it. This is back in possession to Evan Fassett. Trying to load up for a shot as this gets swept back up. On the other way, trying to pass it off, and was Timothy Ouellette. Didn't have a teammate to receive it from his end and back out at the right circle. This gets sent forward. Back out neutral zone, dumping it in. Trying to get some fancy stick work there. Lucky at a teammate to clean up there. Did Rosa as this goes back to Madera. Madera, not having a man to pass to, will just settle to go back along the boards. Tomasi trying to pass it to the other side, but good play away as this gets swept up by Letizia. Back out to the ring. Looking to try and sling it around here. Doesn't have a chance. Has to pass it off. Here's a shot that goes wide. That was off of the stick of Dylan Reeder, and that'll stop us again. Six minutes, just under 7 left to go here in this opening period. The officials are having a discussion again. The Zebras are having a lot of what we call board meetings in the business on this one, trying to make sure they get it right. Looks like they're going to bring a player out of the box. They're going to open it up and send in. They're going to penalize Dylan Reeder on that one. I believe that gives us another power play situation here. Chargers will wait to have a face-off as they get things updated on the stat line. No, they just had a player skate off. Is this a 4-on-3? I'm not mistaken with all the players around. This is a 5-on-3. Okay. So I'm sure we'll get that updated on the scoreboard in a moment, trying to go for another pass there. It is a 5-on-3 for a little bit of time as the Chargers try to go up by 2 scores. 5-on-3 for a brief amount of seconds, but it's still a man advantage for the Chargers as the 4th player comes out of the box. Trying to swipe it there for a quick break where it was Letizia as this goes back and forth across the blue line. Madera will sling it around the boards. Trying to set things up here on this man advantage. As we back out to the other side of the ice. About 1:20 left to go on this power play as they send Dylan Reeder to the box. Look on the outside for a chance. Several white jerseys wouldn't let him get anywhere. Trying to fight for it along the boards initially was Sprayer. As here's another quick rush. Ben Helper trying to get the better of 2 defenders and had no one to pass off to. Good defense by Tomasi and company. Back out Ouellette trying to get possession of the puck. And we got another whistle for tripping. Like the Chargers player trying to dispute that a little bit, but a lot of fans are not happy with that one, but it is going to get us to a 4-on-4. About a minute and change for that. And it looks like the Coach Jock is pleading his case. Yeah, not much you're going to be able to do about that. He's already in the box at this point. One fan shouting, "You've got to blow the whistle." I'm pretty sure there was a whistle on that to have a stoppage. There's another. There you heard. I heard a whistle there. Heard another one. This is a public service announcement. Referees do blow the whistle as they're trying to settle things out on the scoring side and get things situated. We got a face-off coming up. It'll be a 4-on-4 for 45 seconds. Minute 15 on a man advantage to the Pioneers potentially. This one gets shoveled back out. We're back in action. About 35 seconds for a 4-on-4 before we get to a man advantage. About a minute 15 will be the time difference on that. Bashazath with the shot. It goes off the pad of Ouellette. Another chance around the outside, looking to circle it back around. Bashazath looking for a player to pass off to. Tried to get it in the area of Adola. This goes all the way down as Adola will have to pursue it himself with assistance from his goaltender in Parmesan. Let's go back out. Letizia trying to shovel it there. It was a dangerous chance for Dylan to follow through on it as this will go back to the other side of the circle. Looking on the pass. He'll set it up for the shot. Couldn't get it through traffic as this gets cleared away. Power play is in full effect in favor of the Pioneers now. Adola trying to set up a play, move around the defense. Adola will stay on side. Back out. Dylan looking for the shot. It goes into the glove of Ouellette, and we've got some shoving and a kerfuffle. Shoving still continuing between the respective players for a brief moment. I believe with that shoving, they're going to send another player to the box. The disagreement very prevalent among the fan base here. This gets poked at for the faceoff here. The screen says 5-on-3. It's just a regular power play. Sure, we'll get that adjusted as this gets ladled up and will go out of play through the mesh. I beg your pardon. It actually is a 5-on-3. It looked like at first there was that man advantage there with it being a 4-on-4. So you've got 31 seconds left here before we get back to strength, as the Chargers have got, looked like it was Rosa and Madera in the box for the Chargers. Only 18 seconds until the Pioneers could try to capitalize. Down 1 goal, 3 minutes left to go in the opening quarter. Back out to the neutral zone. Trying to poke at it there was Fassett, as trying to weave around for the shot. That hop skips and goes on the outside. Great attempt by Ben Helper. And the 5-on-3 is no more, even strength. Trying to pursue it there was Madera. Go back out to the neutral zone and trying to go for a shot. This gets fended away by Ulat. Puck bounces a couple of times before the Pioneers will get back in their own possession as this goes back to Ulat. Back in the Chargers end of the rink. This will be set up. Trying to go for a quick rush here is Minipoli. Minipoli with pressure. Can't find anyone to pass to. Gets gripped a little bit there, but nothing too egregious thanks to Brandon Reeder. And back a breakaway on the other side. They score! Now it's Kurowski on the breakaway. Managed to get a score there, but the referees wave it off. Or at least they're going to they discussed it a little bit. They're talking to the bench. The coach trying to plead their case. I believe they ruled offsides on that stride, and no goal. So no goal, but the Pioneers try to get another chance on it. Ulat will swallow it up. A lot of these fans starting to really get into it here on senior night. You had multiple penalties. You had stoppages. We got a minute and a half only in the opening frame. Here come the Chargers, going back the other way, trying to go for a shot. It gets fended off. Good attempt there by Sprayer. A good chance on the wing, a shot. That'll go high and wide. Pioneers try to defend it again. This goes back the other way at Rosa. Rosa, this puck gets loose, but fended off as the Pioneers get it back up. Clock stop now. We're certainly under 60 seconds now as this goes back. Good save by Ulat. There's a chance the Pioneers going the other way. Looking to pass it in. Maybe a deflection, but couldn't get it there for a shot opportunity as Sacred Heart once again tries to fend it off. Wipe out there. Shot on the outside. It goes high and wide. Trying to pass it back on another one. It's between 20 and 19. Madera and Rosa on the attempted shot. This will go back down the length of the ice and will be called for an icing. 57.3 remaining in the opening frame. The number 68 team in ACHA D3 hosting this senior night and having a passionate fan base, no doubt. Napoli in the circle for the face-off, as is McNavage. Face-off won there by Gaffredo. This will stay in the zone for a moment as it's poked back out. Going back the other way, Dillon looking for a chance to weave around. Back on a toss, could have been a shot attempt, but Kurowski didn't load up on it. Hungry for the goal that was called back. Pioneers hungry for a second goal. Looking on a backhanded shot. Second through, they score! Napoli kept with it and poked it between the legs of Armajan, and it's 2-0. Only a handful of seconds left to go in the first. And what has also been an eventful opening frame, handful of seconds here, maybe a couple of handfuls as the Pioneers defense almost crumbles a third goal there. It gets fended off on the shot attempt by James Brady. About 10 seconds before we get to the first intermission. Trying to go past the circle, setting up for the shot. That goes high and up above that. And with that pass off, that should do it. Don't know if they're going to get enough time. And the buzzer blows realistically before poor Malecki could get a shot off. And we've already got fisticuffs. The passion's starting to get prevalent here at the Northford Ice Pavilion. And that's the captain Minipoli too, after he just scored that goal. Looks like he was fighting there with Sacred Heart's 15 Prendergast. It's a sophomore and senior getting into it a little bit as the referees try to just cool down the emotions here at the intermission. End of the first period, 2-0 lead for the New Haven Chargers, hosting senior night and leading over the Sacred Heart Pioneers. We'll be back in a couple of moments for continued action here on the LI Sports Network. Welcome you back. Start of the second period here of senior night for the Chargers of New Haven, facing off against the Pioneers of Sacred Heart. 2-0. The Pioneers are facing that deficit right now in a matchup that's had several penalties, several 5-on-3s, several man advantages, and both of these goals coming from full strength, actually, from the grand scheme of things. So the penalty's not really making much of a difference. Now we get back to action here for what should be an exciting second period. We've already had at least a fight at the end of the first, a little bit of shoving and punching, some things building up, and time to get back to action here on the LI Sports Network. Keeping ourselves busy with the high school hockey playoffs going on all across the region. Several of those games are live right now. You can catch several of the other great broadcasters that work those games. They get to work them on site. I get to call this one from a distance for you. Looks like a little bit of discussions to settle things out. The Pioneers, that Joey Letizia trying to get the last bit coordinated. They got several players in the box from both sides, I believe, sitting out their respective misconduct penalties. One of those things, too bad the game sheet is not on standby for this competition. But regardless, we're back underway. Second period gets back with this puck being possessed by Madera. Always a cool thing to see the look of the fresh sheet of ice when the Zamboni is done. As this goes back to a goal. It's a score. Bash Zath and company get a goal to start out the opening, not even 30 seconds into the second period. We get back to action, and it's 1-0 just like that. Quick goal by the Pioneers. Already they're trying to get this set back the other way. The lead cut in half by Sacred Heart, trying to get things going here as the Chargers get back possession of the puck in their own zone. That's Anthony Rosa who sends it back down the length of the ice, but not enough for an icing with the deflection. It is a 4-4 with players sitting in multiple boxes, so technically a short-handed goal with that 4-on-4. As this shot will go ahead and get sent back out. This will head all the way down for an icing. So that was an assist by Bash Zath and the goal from the corner by Timothy Ouellette. And nothing on the ACHA website for statistics for him on the season. So as far as we know, that's Timothy Ouellette's first goal of the year. Somebody wants to correct us on that, feel free to. Back to action here as we've got about 23 seconds left to go on the 4-on-4. So get back in possession of the Chargers, trying to get back to that 2-goal cushion as this gets back into Madera's possession. He gets it on the pass high and wide off of Rosa. It's back out along the boards here. This will get shoveled into the neutral zone and trying to go on a quick rush here. Looking around, trying to get an angle from that shot on the pass. It goes wide. Good stride by Brandon Reeder. Pioneers keep it in as Reeder will try to weave it around here. Too strong of a backward pass, trying to go to one of his teammates as this will go back down the other way. And his brother Dylan having to clean it up for him there. Here's Dylan Reeder. Will keep his teammates on side as this gets back out on the possession here, trying to go for a shot. That was Gefredo. Trying to slice at it. It does get back out to the neutral zone here. Alex Gefredo gets possession. This gets slung back down for a line change to Roski, just clearing the zone. Back out the other way. Dylan Seals. And a whistle. Penalty box is cleared for the first time in a while in this competition. Usually you at least see one player or more on either side. What feels like an eternity in terms of how long it's been since that box was cleared. Penalties galore in this one. Attempting to send that back forward there for the Chargers was James Brady. As this gets back in front, they score! Ben Helper on the assist. You got a goal that'll be credited to Camden Souza, and it's now tied at 2. And it looks like you've also got a little bit of a shakeup here on one of the Chargers players, clenching his shoulder there. That's David Brown, who's immediately going to go to the locker room. Tough to see the freshman defenseman in that sort of painted state. But it's now 2-2. This will go back, get poked the other way, trying to go and weave through for another shot attempt. They score! Drew Solis. First, it was Souza receiving it on the pass to even it up. And then Drew Solis, the sophomore from Floral Park, has taken the lead away from the Chargers on senior night. As we get this back underway. And just a relentless pressure from the Pioneers trying to lay things on here against the Chargers, who have had their respective struggles, including their loss last night, 2 games ago to, or actually that game, I beg your pardon, that game was last night against the Division II Fairfield team, losing 6-10. Won 9-6 against the University of Maine in the previous matchup, as this stuff gets back underway. Back on the other side, Chargers trying to find some way to even up the score. Back out in front, trying to wedge it through, but nothing doing, says Parmesan. And we got both 10s going to the box on this one. What a surprise. You got more penalties galore here. Alex Gefredo and Trent Macri will sit in the box. Macri, for the 18 games he's played, he's been in the penalty box for 18 minutes. And now this is, if I'm not mistaken, his second penalty of the game. So he's now going to go to 22 penalty minutes total in 19 games. And Gefredo, in the 2 games quarter that he's played in, only 2 penalty minutes. But This gets us back to action. Pioneers trying to get it through, and that is good goaltending to wedge it between the pads there for Javed Ullah. West Haven, Connecticut native, getting things shut down. Back up from the left circle in the faceoff. It is a 4-on-4 with both of those penalties, as gets back for a shot from distance that may have gone the pad of Ullah and went out of play into the mesh. And trying to poke there we go. Trying to get someone to put the puck back in as it gets stuck in the mesh again. Kind of angle it a little bit there on that pass. But one could say that's why they're fans of the game right now and enjoying being spectators. Back out still on the 4-on-4. This is headed back the other way for the Chargers. This is Morrell trying to possess it for the pass. Could have been a great one-timer, but Madeira just didn't have the right stick angle as we have a little bit of a kerfuffle again. Fisticuffs breaking out in front of the net. That gets dislodged. The play gets shut down. Officials trying to keep things calm and composed. Would not be surprised if we see an all-out brawl by the end of the night. And they are going to send, that's Joshua Bertelli, the junior from Waterford, Connecticut, to the box. And they're also going to send Camden Souza. The officials basically saying at this point they are not going to tolerate any more of these sort of fights, at least in terms of sending them to the box. Haven't seen anybody sent off into the locker room in terms of penalties. This was trying to clear things up by box side. About 14:59 left to go here in this second period. Adding those penalties to the scoreboard and trying to get those all situated. I believe that's 24. I believe that's still Bertelli there on the penalty box, and possibly 19 Rosa going to the box again. We don't have a live statistics tracking on this one, but regardless, it's more people into the box. As this gets passed out in front, would have been a dangerous chance. Looks like it's a 3-on-3 for a couple of seconds here as Pamasi tries to pass it off, shovel it through the neutral zone, trying to go around, looking for the shot. This goes high and into the mesh off of the stick of Madeira. Looks like Gefredo and Souza are in the box for Pioneers, and you've got Macri and trying to catch the last number on that one. I believe it was James Brady, who was also in the box there for New Haven. But regardless, it's a 3-on-3 at this point as they try to pass this thing off. Okay, it's the other way around. I beg your pardon. It's Gefredo and Bertelli in the box for the Pioneers. And on the other side, as that almost gets gloved down by Parmesan. Back out the other way. Let's get poked at. Pioneers trying to go in front for a shot. Would have been almost a guaranteed goal. Adulet got it. His shot does not find its way in. And we'll head back out to the neutral zone. Looks like we're possibly back to 4-on-4. Looking for the circle. This gets poked away. Good defensive work there. That one by Dylan Reeder. As Dylan Reeder looks for the shot, it gets fended away. Back out on the attempted pass. Ben Helper in the area. Poked up into the neutral zone. Back out trying to go with the pass off. This goes wide outside. Looking for the middle of the shot. They score! Michael Madera in perfect positioning, and the Chargers tie it up. 2 goals on the night for the sophomore winger. Back to an even score at 3-3, and only 5 seconds left on the 4-on-4. As it's going the other way, the Pioneers see an icing called. It's Dylan Reeder. There's several players who've been great for Sacred Heart on the night thus far. You shovel that shot trying to go through. This goes on the other side, and getting back in there in the area was Fassett and company as this goes back out to the neutral zone. Even strength now amidst all the penalties, and the Pioneers will go back to work. A chance in front gets broken up. Souza was in the area. As this will be back out for a whistle. Face-off coming up here. Under 13 minutes left to go in this second period. I hope you're enjoying the natural sound of the fans as much as I am. Pioneers will possess this back on their own end, trying to shovel it forward. That's a dangerous pass that could not get fixed, and trying to shovel it in, looking for the puck. It's loose, trying to follow through. Another chance, a scramble in front, and what turned into a dangerous pass opportunity was shut down by the incredible goaltending of Armajan. Sacred Heart taking it back the other way, looking to capitalize on this. This shot goes high and into the mesh. Boy, that was one of the more careless mistakes you'll see. Probably just a slip up on the defender's part, or not thinking about it, hoping that there was a defender in the middle there, but almost cost them a goal in that situation. Equal at 3-all. ACHA Division III men's matchup here on the LI Sports Network from the neutral zone. Trying to go for a shot. He scores! Brady Tomasi uncontested. New Haven has taken back the lead on senior night. Double down, the Chargers want more, looking for a shot that goes on the deflection off, looking for another follow-up opportunity. A good stride there by Goodwin. Keeping in play off the blue line, gets poked back out, and he'll head out of play. Back out into the neutral zone again. This gets poked down as the Pioneers try to set something up. Goes high up on the pass off of the boards. And then shoveled back away. It'll stay in play. A couple of scrambles there for it. Not sure where the puck is, are the players, as they try to find it, but we have a whistle for a stoppage, as that did not look good in real time. Dylan Seals is immediately on the ground. Looked like he may have gotten hit by a stick in the facial area. And they are going to send a player to the box for, looks like a player for the Chargers maybe was going in the box. The officials discussing here as good news is you see Dylan Seals at least back up and able to stand on his own power, but he will be looked at by the training staff. Like, we'll go to the locker room to make sure he is okay, as that's a power play opportunity coming up here for the Pioneers after that. One of several things that at all levels in ice hockey they're trying to eliminate from the game. And to clarify, I don't think there was anything intentional on that sequence, but it's certainly they have to punish it immediately whenever something like that happens, intentional or not. I'm trying to sort this out on the penalty stat lines, and you're talking with both sides to make sure everyone knows the drill, but they're opening one of the boxes again. And so you're just asking the official questions like, do I still have to be in here? Yes, you do. You have to serve your penalty there, sir. And we got another whistle. I think they're ejecting Michael Madera. I think with the point they're saying he has to go to the locker room. He's done. Either him or somebody else from the bench. Yeah, okay, so they're sending someone to the bench who just broke his stick. Yeah, that's Jaden Sprayer. Must have been talking too much to the officials, and they say his night is done. If you were wondering, if any of you around the United States are watching this and you've never been to Connecticut and you've ever asked the question, what happens in Connecticut? Is there ever a reason to go there? You got some great hockey here. You got some drama here at the Mateer Family Arena. I beg your pardon, this is the Northford Ice Pavilion. I'm sure they have the same kind of fun things happening at the Mateer Family Arena, the home rink of the Pioneers. But for the Chargers here in Connecticut, they got action going on all the time. I hope our producer Johnny is having a fun time over there in the stands, running the camera and scoreboard and everything. Coach is still trying to have a discussion. You know, I mentioned earlier that you would think there would be a sort of brawl possibly breaking down. You got 3 players in the box. The Chargers just 1 for the Pioneers. There's at least a fight that kind of happened at the end of the first, but now you've just got ejections, and officials are not tolerating things. Especially if you're chirping at the ref from the bench, you're saying something excessive, which is probably definitely the case. Because usually with referees, you don't eject somebody from the bench unless they say something that's just over the line. And okay, so a 10-minute misconduct being served by, looks like that was 17 maybe. 17 for the Chargers, I believe. May have been actually the Pioneers of Maknovich. Oh no, I beg your pardon. That's That is for the Chargers. They got 17 for David Brown there, but regardless, we back to action here. 10:51 left to go in the second. Chance in front. Nobody on the backside to receive the pass there. But much ado about nothing. Pioneers, the quick rush on the other side, trying to go for a shot there was Letizia as this goes back along the board. This will just be sent all the way down for. Thought there maybe would have been a whistle for an icing there on Zach Donahue, but nothing doing. Must have been deflected as this gets back in possession. Go back the other way, Dylan Reeder. Pioneers try to set something up here on the offensive stride. Trying to go through. Shot from distance. That was a rocket, but didn't find its way in from Timothy Ouellette. Timothy Ouellette loads up again. Did he get it in? No, it goes wide outside on the post. Back out on the other side from the blue line, trying to set things up here yet again as this go over to Dylan Reeder. Reeder trying to look for a teammate to go to. He's got another one, and this gets poked away at the goaltending side as Letizia was trying to fight for it. He's got the puck back and squeaks it away. Goes back along the boards to one of his teammates. Letizia on the other side trying to go through. Can't force it in off the post thanks to the goaltending stand of Ola. Another shot. Ola with another save off a rocket of a shot. Letizia. This will sling its way down, and no chance for icing since it didn't go along the back line. It gets picked up by Drew Solis, the sophomore, and this gets stolen away and poked back into the Pioneer zone. Chance for a line change for the Chargers. Back along, here's in the neutral zone, losing possession of the puck there. A chance going the other way. That's Evan Fassett fighting for it. Fassett with the quick pass, the shot, he scores! Fassett with the pass and the finish made by Brady Price. Brady Price had 9 goals on the 17 games he's played. The freshman has had a breakout season, and he's got goal number 10 to put up the Chargers 5-3 on senior night, midway through the game. And yes, in fact, we have reached the halfway point here in this competition. They're along the backside trying to go for it. This goes swipe away in the neutral zone by the Chargers. The Pioneers have just looked gassed on the last several strides. And loads of cheers here as Chargers trying to fend this thing off. Along the other side, and what you love to see coming back onto the ice, the shot from distance that'll go high and behind, and we have whistles stopping. What I was mentioning, what you love to see, Dylan Seals back on the ice. Good to know that it was nothing serious and that he is in good standing to get back into the competition. Looked like a tough injury to take as we got another penalty coming up. Samuel Lascaux will head to the box. It would be Samuel Lascaux if it was a Sacred Heart Pioneer wearing 27, but that's actually Evan Fassett. The only thing about doing remote calls is sometimes you have the feed go a little blurry. Power play opportunity here for the Pioneers as Evan Fassett called for the penalty, freshman from Cheshire, Connecticut. Here's Dylan, shot. This goes for a save from Ula. Dylan trying to pass it back off, gets it to at least some teammate along the boards. There's nobody back there to receive it, and now the Pioneers have to reset. Here's Dylan. He'll shovel it forward. This gets fended away by Ula. This one will sling all the way back down on the power play. About 1:10 left to go on the man advantage. Pioneers trying to cut the deficit down to 1 goal yet again. Had a lead at one point in this competition. It's been a close back and forth bout. And David Brown's penalty, at least that 10-minute misconduct, he's got looked like about 4 minutes left on that. Back on the other side, looking to set it up for an open lane on a shot as this goes above the line outside. Back out from the blue line, looking to roll up and set things up here. That shot goes wide. Ouellette on the attempt. Here's back the other way. One of the best players for the Pioneers trying to get it through. He's not going to be able to. Bashazath Jr. Back up, here's Bashazath again. Loses the puck for a moment, and it gets tapped away, and another reset required by the Pioneers. This gets poked away, 2-on-1, essentially back on the man advantage, looking for a shot in front, and good defensive maneuver there by several Pioneers. Pioneers back out. Bashazath trying to get around. He gets tripped up there, and we got a whistle. And we got another power play coming up here for the Pioneers. Or it looks like it'll be, if I'm not mistaken, that'll be a 5-on-3 for a couple of seconds with a tripping call. Trying to sort this out at the score box again. It is a 5-on-3 for about 38 seconds. Another golden opportunity for the Pioneers as they are down by 2. 4:47 left to go in this middle frame. Back out on the outside, trying to skitter it over there on a shot attempt. Ben Helper, he's got the puck back. Helper looking to send it in himself for a deflection. It gets back to the other side. This is Reeder. Reeder couldn't get it through the 2, and that'll clear things out. So just a couple of seconds, a bit of a wipeout there on the other side there from Prendergast. Trying to keep it in. It's outside of the blue line. Another reset forced. And a couple of seconds before the 5-on-3 is over. Back out from the red line. They'll set it up and get it into the zone. A bit of a collision there with the Charger, but nothing egregious. This almost kept it play. Goes back out to the neutral zone. Sent back the other way. Reeder. Sent in. And it bounced the other way. .456 left to go in this second period, 5-3. Appreciate that one, Johnny. .5-on-3 for another 33 seconds. And still have an advantage for a brief amount of time after that. Pioneers have not been able to really capitalize on the power play throughout the competition. Not a 20-second or less difference on those man advantage scenarios. Looking on the other end, Ben Helper. Helper with a shot, and this gets swallowed up by Ouellette. Back up in the left circle, about 5 seconds on this 5-on-3. It'll just be cleared back out by the Chargers. And now just a man advantage for about 20 seconds or so. And that major penalty for game misconduct will expire for David Brown as well. A couple of seconds left on the power play here. Weaving it through is Ben Helper. He'll sling it around the boards. Back out to Bashazath. Bashazath looking, Sling it back. Looking for an angle on net. He's not going to get it there. Several players trying to go long, getting shoved from behind. There's Ben Helper. And back out into the neutral zone. A quick pursuit of the puck on the other end for James Brady. Trying to get it through there, and it's just going to be gloved down by Armachon. .343 left to go in this second period. One of those back and forth matchups here. It was 2-0 at the intermission in favor of the Chargers. Pioneers fought back, took the lead 3-2, and it's been 3 unanswered goals since for the Chargers. Chargers try to go on the backhanded shot. That goes on the other end. That's Gofredo trying to get another angle, and Armachon swallow it up. Macri on the shot there as Gofredo looked on. You can tell the fans love Trent Macri here in Connecticut. Shot goes back along the boards and gets wedged out. So sling back along the board. Back trying to go for a shot on net. This will find its way on the backside. Cleaned up here by Vadola and company. Vadola trying to wedge it over. This goes back on, almost on net. That rattles off of the boards, and they score! From the right side, the Chargers got another goal. Evan Fassett. How about the passion of these fans here in Connecticut? Looked like Macri got maybe the assist on that one, but Evan Fassett, 27 for the Chargers, has now a 6-3 lead on senior night for New Haven over Sacred Heart. Managed to sneak it in off of the post on that one, too. About 2.5 minutes left to go here in the second. Chargers still wanting to get more of a cushion, trying to weave through on another shot. They score again! Brady Price with his second goal of the game. Enjoy your television time there, New Haven fans. From frustration at the officials to jubilation with a 4-goal lead on senior night. How will the Pioneers respond? You wonder how they'll approach it coming out of the third period, as they scored 2 to 3 goals here. Well, they scored 3 goals here in the second period. If my memory serves me correctly, 2 straight out of the locker room. And this is the benefit of live production, folks. When you sit on the bleachers, you can't stop the fans from rattling the camera. Although I'm sure our executives at the LI Sports Network are looking at that and seeing a logistical nightmare on that front, but still shows the passion of the fans here in Connecticut. Minipoli sweeps this back up. Chargers wanting more on this other offensive attack. We'll switch it to the other side. Look back up the middle, back to the other side for a one-timer. Maybe divoted the ice on that shot attempt, but it's still in possession to the opposition. Evan Fassett. He had 1 goal on the game when he made this game 6-3. Fassett's got it on the outside with the pass, looking on the other side, and a good save there on the goaltending end by Tyler Armachon. Final about a minute of change here in the second. This one gets sent back off. Inside the right circle, trying to move things going. As this scores! A power play goal for the Chargers. That was serviced in initially by Mansky. And then the follow through on the shot was sent in for a goal. That was by Matt Cesare. Got redirected 8-3. Pioneers trying to come up with a response as they've just allowed goal after goal after goal, and we got a penalty coming up here. And even with a 5-goal lead, this fan base will not show any agreement with the officials. The Chargers will be down a player on this upcoming power play for the Pioneers. Maybe the spark they need heading into the locker room to try and cut the deficit to the halfway point of Chargers' current score. About a minute and change left here in the second. Gets sent back out. Pioneers trying to set up the offensive stride. Going for a rattle of a shot there. Ouellette in the middle, looking on the anticipated pass. He has to settle for going in on the puck. Try to pass it off to his teammate. Too strong. Goes back out the other way. Looking back at around the blue line. This will be shoveled back in. Here's Ouellette. We'll have to sling it around the boards. We got probably about 30 seconds left to go here in this second. This will go back out to the backside of the net for the Pioneers. Likely they will just take a slow pace trying to settle things down here. They know they've got time on their side. This gets flung all the way back down. At 17 seconds remaining here in the second. Back around the other side. This is trying to get it in here. Lescault looking for a pass in front on a shot attempt, and final seconds will expire in the second period. What was a 2-0 score at the start of this period resulted in a 6-3 run of scoring in favor of the Chargers. Head to the intermission break yet again. Third period action coming up in about 15 minutes. You're watching ACHA Division III hockey on the LI Sports Network. Final frame about to get underway between the Pioneers and the Chargers. It was 2-0 at the start of the second period, and we are now at a score of 8-3. The hosts of Senior Night, number 68 team in the ACHA D3 rankings, are against the number 34 Pioneers of Sacred Heart University, trying to get things going here in Connecticut. Spencer Thompson calling the action for you remotely here, based out of the Middle Tennessee area. Never got our producer's last name, but Johnny is producing the show, running stuff for you on site up at the Northford Ice Pavilion. And that is correct. This is number 34 ranked team in the ACHA D3 rankings. The A team is number 22 on those rankings, released fairly recently here in 2026, the last ones that were updated on their website. And we are back underway here, third period action, as we get into the final frame here. Certainly hope that you could see a sort of comeback here from Sacred Heart, but New Haven has really just been firing on all cylinders since Sacred Heart took that 3-2 lead at the start. And there's another goal. The Pioneers, just like they did in the second period, they've got another goal to start off the third. And it's a great goal at the hands of their best player, first goal of the night. Make that 8-4. And quickly they get back to action on the face-off here. It'll go back down to the Pioneer zone. And if you are the Chargers, this is the last thing you want to see, is some sort of comeback mounted here from Sacred Heart. Long way for the Pioneers to climb, but not anything impossible with how fast-paced the game of hockey moves. As a law, we'll just poke it back behind. It's over on the other side, trying to get it in front on a shot. A couple of dangerous chances there. Good setup by, that was Gaffredo. Gaffredo will radar it. He'll try to get it back. Gets stopped on the defensive end. We'll just ladle it back up. This gets poked to the other side of the blue line. And now the Chargers will head back down the other way, trying to get around to it. Right forward along the boards. This gets back out the other way for a shot. That deflected off with several players. A follow-up. They score. A response to their goal. Anthony Rosa, 9-4. New Haven. Anthony Rosa had one assist earlier in the competition. He's now got a goal under his stat line. Had 18 goals in the 18 games he played heading into the night, and now it's 9-4. Back in possession of New Haven, trying to take this back down in the Pioneer zone. It almost gets broken up. Good shovel pass on the other side to O'Shea. O'Shea in the area in front of the net, trying to wait for his teammate to get back on his feet. Down on his knees, lost the puck. Pioneers got it back. This gets shoveled back. Broken up there, would have been a good breakaway had he gotten possession of it, and a shot gets sent away by Armajon. They'll set this back up. Looking for the shot, trying to go through traffic. May have gone in and out of the glove of Armajon. Ryan O'Shea gets back to the puck. Back up Rosa. Rosa has got pressure here from Lascaux. He'll just have to send it to his other side. Trying to go back up, looking for a deflection opportunity there. That was O'Shea. trying to fire it on net. It'll just go to the backside, looking for a chance on front, as that'll go outside of the reach of O'Shea. Looking for it there was Kolb, and almost a chance to swipe it away. Quick burst. This will just get sent back along the boards. Back in the area of O'Shea. Send this back, a bounce. It's a 3-on-2, and it'll just be sent in for a line change. Pioneers gassed. Sending that shot forward there was Ouellette, as this will get sent back along the boards. Looking in the area there was Kolb. Looking for a pass in front. This just goes right. It looked like he almost just passed it directly to the defense there. This will head down for an icing. A lot of good action. You can split screen around on the LI Sports Network right now. If you're enjoying this competition, you've got East Islip and Eastport South Manor on the freshman team for the SHL in action right now. You also got Farmingdale and the University of Buffalo colliding for ACHA Men's Division II hockey action. And you got Hofstra University and Stony Brook University colliding for another bit of action on the ACHA M3 scene. All of that can be seen here on the LI Sports Network as the opportunity. Quick there by Armajan. This will get shoveled back the other way. Pioneers trying to set up a goal opportunity and nothing doing. This will head back into the mesh. Excited fans trying to get a souvenir puck. And we got a whistle. Looks like they're pointing at Camden Souza. And he is going to go to the penalty box. It'll be a power play for the Chargers. And they'll call him for slashing. And they'll also send a Chargers player to the box for elbowing, it looks like. So either an incidental or a 4-on-4 coming up. Sacred Heart winning the faceoff. 4-on-4. Back along, looking for a chance. There is Reeder. He'll pass it back on the other side to Bashzath. Bashzath with a pass off, looking for an angle on the outside. That gets swallowed up by Law. Powerful shot from Timothy Ouellette. This will get set back up. Chance Bashzath trying to look for a shot. He scores! Bashzath makes it a 4-goal game on a 4-on-4. His second goal of the night. And Bashzath with a great angle there. Reason why he's one of the best players for the Pioneers on the B team. At least on the ACHA stats that were given, the Middle Village, New York native had 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points in a total of 2 games played. 9-5. Bashzath going for a shot that goes maybe off of the nub of the stick of Ula. A little bit of a tussle and trying to fight. Puck there gets passed back out in front, and the Chargers will pick it back. And Rosa just trying to slow down the tempo now. About 40 seconds left on the penalties. This will almost pretty much goes into the bench area. It looked like he was just trying to clear it up along the boards. There'll be a face-off in the Pioneer zone after that act. 31 seconds left here on this 4-on-4. Stop it here with the face-off and gets back in action. Actually, the way Sousa and company. Lascald in the area. This goes back out. Could have been a great chance for Evan Fassett had he been set on his skates. Back out. A 2-on-2 gets the better of the defender. A great poke check there by Fassett to prevent the shot. This will bounce back along the boards. That was Ben Helper who got it back out. Here goes Lascald. And a whistle for an offside. Back on the face-off. This will be in possession of O'Shea, who tries to get this back over the blue line. Everyone on side slings around the boards. This will get shoveled forward. It's pitchforked away. Back up. This will head along the boards, trying to scissor it away there. That was back out to the other side. Pioneers down by 4 goals. About 12 and a half left to go in regulation. Back in possession, O'Shea. Wiped away on the pass attempt. It's a one-on-one here, just trying to go for a shot and catch him off guard there. That was Andrew Bohannon. I beg your pardon. That was Karowski. The sophomore from Stratford, Connecticut, just trying to catch Mula off guard. This will bounce back along the boards. Pioneers trying to swipe it away, and in the area there on that attempt, that was Romano trying to go for it. Back out into the Chargers end of the zone, just trying to radar for it there and get the puck. Several players surrounding the defender, but finally gets fended off on the danger. O'Shea loses the puck. Back out to Romano. Romano looking for a pass off. He gets bodied up. Romano and company still in pursuit of the puck. Kolb tried to go for it there and almost had to kind of check into one of the defensive players there, did Kolb. This gets back out. Trying to fight for it there was Jay Bailey, as this will go high up. And chance here for a 2-on-2. Here goes Tomasi trying to find a way around, and he loses his footing but gets back to the puck. Tough physicality there on the outside. This will go back out in front. Quick possession there. Tried to go for a goal. Has one-on-one. They score! Or do they count that? Waiting for a signal. It looked like it bounced on the inside of the crossbar. It certainly rattled the bar from this angle. And they're going to call that no goal in a net dislodge. Would have made it a 3-goal game. Net gets dislodged. Face-off coming up here. They're going to rule that no goal on the ice. Looked like it hit off the bar, potentially went in, but no goal, says the referee. Stays 9-5. About halfway through the third period. Pioneers have a 4-goal deficit to try and overcome on the road. And stoppage here for a tripping. Pioneers are going to have a man disadvantage as heading to the box. That's going to be Dylan Reeder heading to the penalty box. We got a little bit of technical difficulties going on with our camera, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try to fix that as much as we can. So this goes back out to the neutral zone. And back in possession of it initially there for the Chargers is Rosa. Back out in possession, looking for the shot on the follow-through. This does not make its way in, and it'll bounce back along the boards. It was a good shot attempt by Rosa. Mansky had it in possession. The Pioneers headed back the other way. Going up, loaded up for the shot. It gets swallowed up by Ula. As trying to go for it there was Evan Badola. 57 seconds left on the power play with 9:14 left to go in the third. Back out on the other side, trying to go from the left angle on the shot. This one almost sneaked through the legs of Armajon. He's got the pressure still on him, looking for a follow-through shot. He pokes it away, follow-through. Did that get its way into the post? I could not see that, but what a great play by Armajon to keep it out. I thought for a second that snuck into the left post, and no goal ruled on the ice. Still danger here for the Chargers. That one gets broken up. A good physical play by Letizia to break up the pass. Looking through traffic to the other side on the shot. It goes to the other end. They score! Excited fans on senior night. Another goal added to the total. Ten to 5. Back to action here. 10-5 the score line as you got another goal on the board. Just picking it up off of the deflection there for the Chargers with the whistle. That's Michael Madera with the hat trick on the night. And thanks to him, this senior team is leading by 5 goals. Pioneers trying to get it back down the other end. Loose stick gets picked up. Karowski looking in the pursuit. Reset needed here by Vadola. He'll dump it in for a line change. High up shot attempt there. No dice from James Brady. To stay along the board. Trying to shovel it forward there along the boards was Kormalecki. What started out in the game, the Pioneers were relentless on their pressure at the beginning. It is very much swung, the pendulum has, in favor of the Chargers from pretty much the second period forward. We'll get back to action here in a second, ladies and gentlemen. And technical difficulties here tonight in Connecticut. Got 6:40 left to go here in the third. 10-5 lead for New Haven over Sacred Heart. Back in the middle looking for a shot. That goes wide. Attempt there from Brady Price. Back out the other side, trying to maneuver around here for a shot attempt. This will go along the board. Back in possession, Tomasi. Tomasi with the pass off, trying to go for a shot. Couldn't get it through traffic. A second through. They score! Anthony Rosa with his second goal of the night. Eleven to 5 on senior night. One goal scored for the Pioneers here in the third. Going back on the other side, trying to load up for a shot. This gets followed up here by Armajan. Five and change left to go in regulation. 6-goal lead in this ACHA Division III men's competition. Back out to the neutral zone. Pioneers trying to go for a quick rush. Had a little bit of a 2-on-1. Could have had a chance there for Souza had it deflected off of La. Back up Camden Souza. So head back to the other side of the ice, and they'll whistle it down for an icing. So bounce back into the area of Pioneers, trying to shovel this back forward. Sacred Heart will get it back in possession in the neutral zone, and they got a burst with about a 3-on-3. Looking for a shot. This will get stuck in traffic. Back out to the other side of the blue line. Stays on side for a shot. That goes high and wide. Backward shover by Bertelli as Pioneer Company tries to get something going here. Here's Bashzath, could not get it in. It was deflected off of a lot. Does get the puck back in his own possession. Tries to set this stuff up, going for a shot, and gets broken up by several dark jerseys. It's poked at, going back. Bashzath off for the pad of Ula, and a follow-up shot. Still trying to reach it around, and it's not going to go. Trying to go through on another shot. Multiple traffic in front, and it finally squeaks out along the boards. The Skull will get it back as the Chargers defense holds on that crazy stride in front of the net. This gets slung and bumped back off the framework of the net. So sling back. And back in possession. Chance on a breakaway here, looking for the shot. It's going to go wide as Zach Donahue tried to get something going. I beg your pardon, that was James Brady trying to go for the breakaway. This will bounce back in front of the net. Sacred Hearts Pioneers trying to get it back. Going in front, trying to go for a shot there was Vadola. A little bit of a fight there is Evan Vadola tries to bounce it in front. Follow on the shot. Too much traffic for that puck to get towards the net. Another opportunity, and we've got a whistle. 3:07 left to go. I believe they're going to set up another penalty here. Yes, they are going to send another Pioneer into the box. I believe that was Chris Romano who got called on the penalty there. So with 2:49 left to go here in regulation, down by 6, Pioneers will have a man disadvantage for only a couple of seconds before a goal. Right off of the face-off, fired a shot from the blue line, 12-5. Not even a couple of seconds for the man advantage. Anthony Rosa, 2 players with a hat trick here for New Haven. Anthony Rosa and Michael Madera. Not like the NHL where you see a bunch of hats thrown onto the ice. See a lot of people wearing their beanies trying to stay warm here in the arena, especially warm up in the Northeast with the rapid winters. Back out Reeder trying to possess it there in front. This goes back in the area of Kamasi. Yeah, you have a lot of people frustrated there with the whistle. Penalty coming for tripping. And they're going to send yet another Pioneer to the box. And that's been the story of the night for Sacred Heart. As this time, Evan Kolb will sit in the box for the remainder of the game. Pioneers going back, trying to go in traffic with another shot there as we get into the final minute 40. At least Kolb will sit in the box pending if a goal is quickly scored like on the last power play. Looking on a short-handed opportunity that's high and wide, attempted by Ouellette. Sent back the other way. Tomasi looking to weave it through. It gets patted away by Armachon. Back out on the right side looking for a rocket of a shot. It does go off of Ula. Shot taken by Prendergast. Well, the number 34 team ranked in D3 rankings here for ACHA is going to fall to 6-12. And the New Haven Chargers at 68 will go to 10-7-2, remain above 500 as the Pioneers try to get another goal in there, and it's shut down. That'll also be win number 5 on the year for the University of New Haven. Total record of 5-6-1 here at the Northford Ice Pavilion. And Sacred Heart will fall to 5-10 on their record outside of the Mateer Family Arena. Well, they had as little as a 2-goal lead, and they lost it, went down by about 3-2, but it's been all Pioneers the rest of the competition. 12-5. New Haven on senior night gets it done against the Pioneers of Sacred Heart on a final score of 12-5. As I'm sure Johnny has enjoyed every second of those crazy fans that he's been in the Lions' Den of in this last section of about 3 hours and change. Make that about 2 hours and 15 minutes total. Final handshakes here, still showing respect even with the fights that they've had. And that is going to do it for our producer, Johnny. All the hardworking men and women that make this run so smoothly. I'm Spencer Thompson saying so long from the Northeast. The University of New Haven gets a win on senior night with a final score of 12-5 over the B team for Sacred Heart University. Good night, everyone.